You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. All right, folks, let's talk about the day 3 of the Amber Guyger trial in Dallas. She's the former Dallas cop on trial for murdering Botham Jean. Now, today was quite interesting because a Texas Ranger testified, this brother right here, Robert Armstrong, actually testified that, pull it up please, testified that Amber Guyger, folks, he actually said that Botham Jean represented a significant threat to the life of Amber Guyger. Botham Jean was in his own apartment. What we also know from testimony today is that Amber Guyger had a very emotional phone call with a fellow police officer who she was having an affair with moments before walking into the apartment. Now, this same black Texas Ranger investigator said that the couch matched, the couch in both of Jean's apartment matched the one in Amber Guyger's apartment, all kind of other stuff. The judge like, your ass ain't testifying in front of the jury. So it didn't happen. What's interesting about this, Monique, is that you see the defense making this whole point that it was self-defense. She had no choice. She clearly believed that it was her apartment. Others are saying, wait a minute, to prove murder, she had to have intent. Your thoughts, again, at how this trial is proceeding?
I think it's the wrong defense. I mean, to me, of all of the ways that they could have gone with this, to go out on a limb for self-defense where they actually shift the burden and have to prove things.
What else she got?
One second.
Scott, makes no sense because I believe that what is more than likely true should be the best defense here. It's more likely that she made a mistake and parked on that level and walked in that same floor and walked into that apartment, and in all of her dazed, tired, just got off of the phone, which is now in evidence, she reacted a way she shouldn't have and mistakenly shot a man in what she thought was her apartment. She's still wrong. It's still manslaughter, but it would not be the intent for murder, and they're not accepting that that's the best that they can do for her as defense attorneys. So they're trying to go for this grand slam, and I think they could end up pissing off this jury. That evidence about her being on the call makes sense. Apartment buildings that look alike, it can all happen. They haven't given us the facts yet. I'll wait to see what prosecutors come up with. For any reason she was out to get him, for any reason she was upset about him or every black, that's what I'm saying.
You're right.
We don't have a reason.
She made a mistake. Why'd she shoot him?
And that's what I'm saying. She shouldn't have, and that's manslaughter. That's an improper reaction, which we see from police officers all the time, especially off duty, when all they have is their gun. I mean, I've tried that case 12 times in this very District of Columbia.
Yeah, but the case also...
And getting those off-duty cops in those situations where they think there's an issue and they go for the one weapon they have is how people end up dead. And that is what happened here. I haven't heard anything about why she really wanted him dead.
But why don't you think...
what she did is overreact, and a man ended up dead, and that's manslaughter.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah,
so let me get my point out. The reality is, what's wrong with the argument that the prosecution overcharged this case, and she really should have been charged with manslaughter?
Which, by the way, the Texas Rangers charged her with manslaughter. It went to the grand jury. The grand jury came back with a murder charge. The Dallas District Attorney's Office did not pursue the manslaughter charge. Didn't bring it up. In fact, Robert Armstrong, of course, the Texas Ranger investigator, again, this took place outside of the jury's presence. He said today that he felt that she did not intend to kill him. He said that it was a mistake, and he said she should have been indicted on manslaughter. They decided there the jury should make the decision, not listen to him.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah,
be a
because
lesser
now they
included,
charge.
too, though.
But when the DA went on TV and we saw that black mama judge do what was priceless, there were all the conspiracy theorists saying, she's trying to throw the trial because in Dallas, that's what people are saying. Either she overcharged it because she didn't care about coming back with a guilty, or they succumbed to pressure and she improperly charged. Yeah, but either way, she made a case harder for her people.
Probably overcharged. Hold on.
But Eugene here. Here's what you had. You had Faith Jenkins, who was the district attorney in. Excuse me.
I'm a lawyer on this show.
I got this. Okay, stop talking.
Keep talking.
Faith Jenkins was the district attorney in Dallas, Republican. When all of this went down, the grand jury indicted. She lost her re-election to John Crusoe, Democrat, who's now the district attorney. So the interview Monique is talking about was John Crusoe giving the interview the day before the trial when the judge said, there's a gag order. Why in the hell is anybody talking? And she's absolutely right. People in Dallas were demanding murder charges. I was down there for a town hall or at a church there, and folks, they wanted nothing less than murder. And there were people who were trying to explain to the audience, understand, in these cases, I know you want murder, but you have to understand the difference between murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, vehicular. I mean, there are multiple categories when somebody dies, and their deal is you got to charge them with the right one. And let's remember, when you had the cop in Chicago who shot and killed Rekia Boyd, they went to court. Dante, I forgot the last one, it was Dante. They go to court. The judge said they improperly charged him and he walked.
Yeah, but here...
1 second.
So I'm not a lawyer, but I'm playing I'm on this panel with these lawyers. So the thing is this, right? I actually think that there is an outside chance they can come back with a conviction on the murder charge. Looking at the testimony from the neighbor today, there was some discussion between Botham and Amber Guyger.
Yeah, the neighbor testified. He heard
some back and forth.
He said what he did not hear was her saying, get on the floor.
Yeah.
He did not hear any police commands. He heard a back and forth, and then he hears gunshots.
Then he hears gunshots.
And he also testified that he previously, because they were next to each other, he often heard him singing gospel music in the morning. So he laying out, I've heard this guy talk before. Go ahead.
And then on top of that, Botham was probably going to be determined that he had to open the door. Her key didn't work. And so between her not being able to get into the apartment, him letting her in, and then, she not giving any type of command to, one, de-escalate the situation, probably take control of the situation. She just fires off her weapon after some level of discussion. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to play one on the show. I think that shows some level of intent there.
First of all, you don't have to be a lawyer, because the reality is if you're sitting on a doggone jury, you're going to be making a decision. The jurors are not lawyers. But they are listening. And again, this trial, folks, of course, cameras are in the courtroom. It's being live streamed every single day. So people are actually watching this trial, listen to the testimony. Final comment, Scott.
There's a real question as to whether the murder charge, let alone one form of the manslaughter charge, even gets to the jury. Because when the prosecution rests, you can bet the defense is going to do a motion to dismiss, saying that they haven't proven their case for murder, at least beyond a reasonable doubt, or that no jury could find murder based on the evidence that was put in. Look for the judge as to whether she's got the courage to let the murder charge go or keep it all in and just punt it to the jury.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, you heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org. Why? Because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at more than $340 billion. Now, we know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically legal in the U.S., but it was, of course, made legal by the 2018 Farm Bill. Now, the folks at 420 Real Estate are giving our folks a great opportunity. Now, of course, their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords. And so what they have done for our Roland Martin Unfiltered family is allow you to make a minimum investment of $200. Originally, the minimum was $500, but now you can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200 up to $10,000. All you got to do is go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org to get in the game and to get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.